1997, though, the Saints have emerged as a worthy finals contender, despite question marks over the coaching future of Stan Alves, their home ground at Waverley, and problems with star player Nicky Winmar. Stephen Phillips spent some time with the Saints this week and found a club on the mend.
It takes only a sniff of success to have St Kilda hearts pounding.
The guys are starting to believe they're a good side now.
A couple of wins and the faint likelihood of a finals campaign to have the media trooping to Moorabbin on a cold and blustery winter's night. St Kilda is unlike other clubs. It began life as the most downtrodden club in the league, and apart from the odd blip, has kept its mass of faithful supporters living on a diet of hope. So bad were the Saints in the bad old days that a magistrate is said to have sentenced one local crook to jail until St Kilda won its next game. A virtual life sentence at the turn of the century when they won 2 games in 6 years.
Oh, it's picked up by Breen. He's got it in the open goal and 2-4, 1 point.
Visions of St Kilda's last premiership 31 years ago, and then by that famous, solitary, wobbly, last gasp point, have sustained one of the biggest support bases in the land. Dreams of a second premiership have turned into nightmares as the club went through decades of financial torment, internal bickering and on-field mediocrity. Why then in 1997 has St Kilda bobbed up as a genuine challenger?
The thing to understand is that with 17, 18-year-old boys, it's going to take 2-3 years at least for it to come. And we believe that this would be the year where we would start to show something. Last year, I think probably at times we were even a little bit ahead of ourselves what we thought we would be. So I don't think we have bobbed up. I think that this is a progression.
Coach Stan Alves is in his 4th season. Some might say that the former Melbourne captain and North Melbourne Premiership wingman is lucky to be still there after taking his side to only 33 wins in 80 tries. Past St Kilda administrations have been notorious for placing the onus of defeat on the poor old coach. Alves, it is rumoured, fell into the post this year.
I knew that my time was up, but because of that I asked to speak to the board and present my submission on where we were at, because I thought it was important if they replaced me that they still knew the facts and where they were coming in, who was coming in. They could coach their own way, but I wanted them to understand this is what we had in place and this is where we believed we were going. The pressure now comes with the knowledge that now if you're now saying that this is the year and this is the time that we believe we're going to make our mark, that if you now don't continue on and with 8 games to go, if we weren't to produce in those 8 games, well obviously I'd be under enormous pressure and I would go anyway, because if I couldn't do the right thing then I would certainly know in my own mind it was time to give somebody else a chance.
Winmar into an open goal. Surely you can...
They are called the Fab Four by their teammates and are the dazzling quartet around which St Kilda has triumphed or failed in recent years. Co-captains Nathan Burke and Stewie Loewe, on-baller Robert Harvey and the enigmatic Nicky Winmar. In this resurgence, the brilliant Winmar has been beset by off-field problems. Marital and domestic flare-ups that have seen his name in the headlines for the wrong reasons. Seen him go bush and end up playing in the curtain raisers. Unlike recent years, St Kilda came down heavily on their wayward star. A sign perhaps of a tougher administration.
I guess I want to reflect on this. He's been with the club for 11 years. And, he came here as a 17-year-old boy from Western Australia. I guess I want to indicate to everybody in the club that when you've been here for 10 or 11 years, we're there to look after people.
The media's out there for news and that's their job, and I mean if we're going to do wrong things by that, well they're going to want to know what's going on, so we've got to sort of walk the straight line for the club and for ourselves.
Twice best and fairest, twice All-Australian and a former leading goal kicker, Winmar is critical to the club's hopes of being a legitimate premiership contender.
He realises now that the hard work has to be done and he's doing that. He's training really well, the enthusiasm's there, and I think just the whole enthusiasm from a lot of the young guys is really uplifting for a lot of us older guys.
In this, the centenary year of St Kilda, the very fabric of the club has come under the microscope. The club's name itself under consideration. The trendy, restaurant-lined streets of St Kilda bear little association with a football club. You have to go back to the early 60s and black and white vision of Baldock, Dieterich, Stewart and co in action to find a visible reminder of the club's days in the suburb. The Saints haven't played a home game at St Kilda for 32 years.
Coming through as Baldock picks it off the ground, a chance for Rowland. Takes his time, runs into the open goal.
The Junction Oval is now a quaint suburban ground that hosts amateur footy, and in summer is home to Shane Warne's District Cricket Club. Just as Footscray has renounced its name in favour of the Western Bulldogs, so now is St Kilda coming to grips with its own identity.
So I think everyone in the press and everyone generally now recognises us as the Saints. Although the heritage of St Kilda's, still important to us, but I guess Australia-wide we're best known as the Saints.
While the Saints operate out of Moorabbin, their power base for more than 25 years, the former southeast suburban headquarters is merely a training ground and at best office complex. The AFL is keen for St Kilda to leave Waverley and join the push to the new Docklands complex. St Kilda last played in the finals in 1992 and have won only one match in September since 1973. This, though, has been a season unlike any in recent history. It's amazingly even. A year in which a bolter that finished second last in 1996 headed the field after 14 games, in which 5 of last year's finalists were outside the elite top 8.
I'm convinced, in my mind, that the players are capable of playing finals football and acquitting themselves well with the brand of football they play. And I think as each week goes by and as we perform at the level that they've been doing, I think the players are gaining that belief. And there's a genuine faith that they can do it.
And the Saints certainly weren't disgraced last night against the Adelaide Crows at football.